In this video, I'm going to talk about sentence elements. My name is Bipitu Jatmoko from Sanata Dharma University, Yogyakarta. In this video, I'm going to talk about sentence or about the elements of a sentence, the main elements of a sentence, namely subject, predicate, object, and adjunct. Subject and a predicate are essential elements of a sentence. Every sentence in English, every complete sentence in English should have a subject and a predicate. Well, a sentence probably also have an object, but that's not must. It depends on the verb. And then in this video, I will also give examples on each of the subject or types of subject, and also predicate on the types of predicate. Now, let's start with a sentence. This is the concept of a sentence. A sentence is a construction which has a subject and a predicate. And the subject of a sentence can be a noun or noun phrase, a pronoun, or a clause, like in the following sentences. The factory workers work for 10 hours a day. Here the subject is the factory workers, and then the predicate is work. John forgot to bring his dictionary. The subject is John, and the predicate is forgot. To bring his dictionary here is the object of forgot, because this is what John forgot. He left very early this morning. Here the predicate left and the subject is he. And this sentence, it does not have an object, but we have two adjuncts here, namely very early, that's an adjunct of manner, and this morning, very early is part of it. John left very early, and that's probably time or manner. Okay, it's not very clear. And then this morning is an adjunct of time. Well, in general, if we have an adjunct of manner, we can ask a question using how, like Mary danced beautifully. Then you can ask, how did Mary dance? How did she dance? She danced beautifully. And this morning is an adjunct of time, and it's usually an answer to a question using when, like when did he leave this morning? Okay. They work in the garment industry. This is a spelling mistake. They work in the garment industry. There is a subject, work is a predicate, in a garment industry is a place. This is an adjunct of place. In the sentences, the subjects are the factory, John, he, and they. The factory and John are nouns, and the factory workers, it should be the factory workers, and he and they are pronouns. Now, we have other forms of subject. The first is a verb. You can also have a verb in the form of to infinitive or in the form of ing form, and a clause can also be a subject. So we can have a to infinitive, a verb in the ing form, and a clause as a subject of a sentence. Here we have to learn a new language is challenging. So the subject of the sentence is to learn a new language. The predicate is. Challenging, spelling mistake, sorry, is an adjunct of challenging is a subject complement. It shows how the subject is. It completes the meaning of is or the new language. To learn a new language is challenging. Smoking is a bad habit. Smoking is a subject, it is a predicate, and a bad habit is a subject complement. What is smoking? It's a bad habit. So it's a subject complement. So probably we need to clarify here that a sentence may also have a subject complement. That's an element which is like challenging here is an adjective, and a bad habit over here. So in this case, a subject complement is usually an adjective or noun, and we have a linking verb. We have be like is, in the first sentence and is in the second sentence. In the next example, you have what she said made me happy. What she said is the subject. What she said made me happy. And what she said here is a subject. And we can prove that by replacing it with the word it. We can say, it made me happy. It made me happy. Made is a predicate. Me is the direct object. Here we have something new here, namely object complement. Object complement. Me happy. Me is the direct object and happy is an object complement. If it is an object complement, and we can change the direct object and object complement into a sentence. So we can say, I am happy. What she said made me happy. I was happy. So what is it? The test whether we have an object complement or not is by paraphrasing, change the sentence into a sentence like in the first. To learn new language is challenging. I was happy. That Mary is a hard worker is widely known. Here the subject is that Mary is a hard worker. It is widely known. This is the explanation. The subject on the sentences are to learn new language, smoking, what he said, and then Mary is a hard worker on the subject on the sentences. And then we have to infinitive, we have ing form, we have what clause, like what she said, what you told me, and then you have that. So for the clause, we can have a WH clause using what, when, how, and then we can have that clause. We have predicate. A predicate element is the predicate element of a sentence always contains a verb. So if we have a predicate in English, we always have a verb because a verb can only become the predicate. I mean, because a sentence needs a verb as a predicate. In English, a sentence always has a verb as its predicate. We'll see later. John read the book last night. So here the predicate is read. John read. This is the predicate. And a predicate carries the tense information. If you have a predicate, then the predicate carries the tense information. You have John read the book last month. It carries a tense information. It's in the past because it's read. If it is in the present, John reads books every day, then at present tense, you have S, John reads. But here it's in the past. So a predicate carries the tense information. And then it agrees with a subject. If you have John, then it becomes reads. If you have in the present, if you have the students read. So it agrees with the number of the subject, it is singular or plural, or it agrees with the tense. If you talk about something in the past, then use the present verb. And then the verb in the predicate can be transitive or intransitive. A transitive verb is a verb which can take an object after it, and an intransitive verb is a verb which cannot take an object. John read the book last month. John read the book last month. So he have read here as the predicate in the past tense, and the book is the direct object. So read here is a transitive verb. Diana likes gelato. So likes is the predicate and gelato is the object. So this one is a transitive verb. The kids are sleeping. The kids are sleeping. This one is intransitive because it doesn't have an object. They laughed happily. This is in the past tense, and here it doesn't have an object, and therefore it's intransitive. Now we have several kinds of verbs in English. The most common, or in English, the highest number of verbs are full verbs. Full verbs are verbs which show an action. English verbs can be differentiated further into three kinds. So we have three kinds of verbs in English, namely full verbs, linking verb, and auxiliary verb. A full verb is a verb which shows an action, like in the following. Linda came late to class. Linda came late to class. So Linda is the subject and Kim is the verb, and it's just an action, coming late. Tom broke the flower pot. Tom broke the flower pot. Here, Tom is the subject, broke is the predicate, it's just an action, breaking action, and the flower pot is the direct object. Demi washed her laundry by herself. Demi is the subject, wash is the predicate, is an action, her laundry is a direct object, and by herself is a, well, it's a kind of adjunct here. And then we have linking verbs. A linking verb is a verb which links or connects a noun with another noun or a noun with an adjective, like in the following. My sister is a dentist. My sister is a dentist. So we have is linking verb, and dentist is the subject complement. Fred became a journalist in the film. So a journalist is a well, again here we have subject complement. We have became as the linking verb. Fred, predicate as a linking with the linking verb, became a journalist. This lesson seems easy to follow. This lesson is easy to follow. This lesson seems easy to follow. So seem is a linking verb. You look very beautiful today. Oh, good. You look very beautiful today. Look is a linking verb, and very beautiful is the subject complement. So if we have a linking verb, we have a subject, we have a predicate, and then we have a subject complement, which can be a noun like a dentist or a journalist, or an adjective like, and the lesson seems easy. Easy, seems easy. They look very beautiful. You look very beautiful. So very beautiful is a subject complement. So once again, if we have linking verbs, we have a subject complement, which shows what the subject is or how the subject is. When the subject is, she is a dentist, he was a journalist, or how the subject is, it's easy. You look very beautiful, thank God. And then the most common linking verbs in English are be, become, look, and seem. You have several others linking verbs like fell or feel, get. He gets angry easily. Do you get angry easily? Get angry. And then you also have taste. Oh, the food tastes very nice. The food tastes very nice. Now let's have auxiliary verb. We have an auxiliary verb is a verb which helps another verb to show a specific meaning or grammatical meaning or function. They occur like in the following sentences. The students can go home now. So can here is an auxiliary verb, and go here is the full verb. The talk will begin soon. The talk is the subject, will is the auxiliary verb here, and begin is the predicate. I mean, it's the full verb. The predicate is will begin. The novel was written during World War II. The subject is the novel. The predicate was written, and during World War II is the adjunct of time. Here we have can, will, and was as an auxiliary verbs. Here they show meaning, go home, permission, or future, they will begin, or passive, grammatical meaning passive for was. We will have a special unit, or we have a unit in which it talks about auxiliary verbs later. And then we have object. It present depends on the predicate verb. So just now we have transitive and intransitive verb. If we have transitive verb, then an object must be present or implied. But if we have an intransitive verb, an object is not needed, or it cannot take an object. Then a sentence object can be a noun the same, a noun, pronoun, a verb in the infinitive, or a stem something, or stem plus ing, or clause. Let us see the example. I need a good microphone to record my courses. So I need, sorry for the typing mistake over here. I need a good microphone. A good microphone is the object. That's a noun. I love Frida very much, but she doesn't love me. Oh, poor me. I love Frida very much, but she does not love. She does not love him. It's not I. It's John. John loves Frida very much, but she doesn't love him. So Frida is a noun, and him here is a pronoun. Frida is a noun. It's the object of love, and him here is the object of love again in the second clause. I want to sell my car. Yeah, I need money for in this pandemic situation. I want to sell my car. My car here is an object, but it's the object of. In fact, this is my car here is the object of to sell, but the object of one itself is to sell my car. So probably the writing on the italic word is not correct. It should be to sell my car is the in italic because the object of one. Once again, the object of one is to sell my car. What do you want to sell my car? And then Rita likes dancing very much. So dancing is the object of likes. Dancing. Do you like dancing? Well, I cannot dance. Well, Rita likes dancing. Dancing is the object because you can ask, you can test. What does Rita like? Dancing. She likes dancing very much. So dancing is the object of likes. I know that this job gives a good salary. Well, not teaching. I know that this job gives a good salary. What do you know? That this job gets a good salary. So we can check that we can substitute that this job gives a good salary with a question what do you know, or with the pronoun it. I know it. Okay, that's all. Thank you. It's about the subject, predicate, and object, and then we'll see later with the practice or exercises, and also doing together and homework. That's all. Thank you very much.